Hello, blog. We are here. It's been a long day. My hair is a mess. But again, the life of a designer, florist, floral designer, etc. We're giving it all to you guys. So I'm here, of course, as you can see, with a new blog. Today we have a nude, deep red, peachy color palette that we're doing for this particular branding moment in history. Behind me I do have a few buckets of water. I am going to need more, but for the sake of the blog, so that I don't miss a beat and that you guys actually get some type of blog today, I'm trying to start somewhere so that I can give you what I promised. So I'm gonna show you the flowers I have real quick. I'm gonna grab those for you. What I have for now, I may run out to my local wholesaler tomorrow and get some more things to add to this, but I am just going to, give you guys a little taste of what I got. So let me grab those for you and I'll be right back. Okay guys, so behind me I have 3 boxes. These came from our wholesaler that is not local. Initially there were supposed to be 4 cases, but again, I promised to give you all the tea. So in this particular case, the wholesaler called me the day before the flowers were to ship. Excuse my raggedy t-shirt, y'all, I'm working. The day of the flower shipping, which I already prepaid because they won't reserve the flowers for you until you pay. Called me the day of the flowers being shipped out to Southwest Cargo and stated that a case of our flowers that was the highlight of our design was no longer available. They said they hadn't come in from the farm, and they tried to offer a few alternatives, but they were not the same thing, and that particular flower was the highlight of my design. So we were down to 3 cases, and at that point you can't cancel the order and say, yeah, well, don't give me anything, because you still need something. So generally, if I needed very few flowers, I may not have gone to a huge wholesaler. I might have went to a local wholesaler, but in this case there were supposed to be 4 cases and an add-on of greenery, but once one thing didn't come in, I was like, nah, I'm not adding anything, just ship what you have. So we have 2 different types of roses, and we have some stock, and then I did find the carnations that I was looking for at my local wholesaler, but of course I had to pay more for local wholesale, and I was not able to get 175 of what I originally planned to order. So let me open these up real quick, show you guys what they look like before I begin the process. All right, and for the record, guys, it is about 10 o'clock. We're getting started. It's 10:09 Eastern time. So we got left home from where I live here in South Carolina, Columbia, to travel to Charlotte, North Carolina, which is about an hour and a half from me, to Southwest Cargo Airport, because ours is still not currently taking cargo orders for freight. So traveled there, picked up our cases. We left here about 3-ish or so. It was raining pretty much. Got to Southwest Cargo, picked up our order. That took about 15 minutes, if that. Stopped, got food. Husband and children traveled with me this time. Got food. Got right back on the road and came home. Okay, by the time we got back home, it was about 7. It's about a 4-hour round trip after stopping, picking up the order, loading the car, giving the kids some just to look at the planes while we're waiting, all of that good stuff. Got back to Columbia, and because I still needed to find that other flower that was missing, which you have no control over, from the local wholesaler, I had already made a call before I left Columbia to my local wholesaler. I sent them a picture of what I needed. I told them the name of it. They actually ended up having it. They held it for me because they've done business with me a few different times. They held it for me, and they closed at 3. By the time I got back, it was 7-ish. or a little after 7, I went straight, traveled another 30 minutes. After I got home, traveled another 30 minutes to Lexington to pick them up. He left them under their refrigerated truck area parked behind the trucks. Paid them. You know, they'll once you establish rapport, they'll do certain things for you. Stopped, got coffee, my Starbucks, I love Starbucks to half to death. I'm a Starbucks junkie. I'm a coffee junkie. I don't know what was going on this particular Starbucks. I had a hard time. Okay. So I'll just giving you guys the rundown, because these are the things that happen when you're talking about costs and price and you're calculating. You have to make sure that this is something that you're willing to give to do. And you have to be passionate about it to want to do it, because it's a lot. So by the time, that's a 30-minute trip there. Got Starbucks, load the car, blah, blah, blah. 30 minutes back home. By the time I got back home, it was about 8:45-ish. Okay, so now we're just getting started. After taking a break, bringing everything out of the car, all the flowers in, and cleaning buckets, putting water in them, putting our floral treatment in them. Now we're here getting started, okay? But I promised to tell you guys the ins and outs of this, so that's why I'm sharing this, okay? Anywho, I got my flowers. I'm going to give y'all a quick rundown. These are like a deep red rose. This is what you call, the name of this rose, I believe, is Explorer. And my little one is trying to interrupt my video. Bye-bye, Carmen. And this comes in a pack of 4. I think you get 100. Yeah, this comes with 4 bunches, and you get 100. Okay, deep red. Remember, flowers go based upon availability by the wholesaler. Now, this is a rose, is a Sahara, which I'm going to be 100% transparent with you guys. Again, I promise to give you all the ins and outs and the tea. This particular rose was not on my initial list. What I wanted was a rose called Quicksand. They sold out right before my invoice was paid. So, of course, that rose was no longer reserved for me. And this was the next thing that was close to it. This is called Sahara. Now, I'm still trying to fill these out. Because I'm not sure if they tint this color or because all of them don't look like this, number one. We got to figure out if our roses of Sahara are still able to be used, if they're going to live. Because what I saw, I was not very happy with. And those are the type of things you have to assess. These are the things that you can't account for. If they happen, you have to adjust. There's nothing that you can do. So you have to make sure you prepare for moments like that as well. This is a peachy pink stalk. Stalk smells so good, by the way. It's the epitome of a garden fresh flower. This came, I believe, with 12 bunches, and in each bunch you have about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. You got about 10 in each bunch, so I got 120 stock basically. If I got 12 bunches and 10 comes in a bunch, I have about 10 stock. Guys, I'm rocking because I am tired tonight, okay? I'm gonna be up for a while. But it's really pretty color. They're, remember, in packaging, they're a little mushed together. So we gotta get them to fresh water so they can open up. And prepare them. Let me grab that carnation I wanted to show you guys. 1 second. This is the carnation that was the highlight of my design. It's also like a peachy pink, but it had more brown. It has more brown tones than this stock. So I'm hoping that it's not too matchy, because, yeah, you can see it a little. You can see how this is more peachy and this has more brown tones. Okay. So hoping it blends really well, because I don't want them to be exactly alike. The local wholesaler was able to get me 5 bunches of these, which gives me about 125 of these, because I believe they come in bunches of like 30 maybe. 125. I can't do the math right now. But you get, a lot of people say that carnations are funeral flowers. They're actually a beautiful accent and a good filler. I was actually going to use these to highlight my design this time. depending on the color that you get and how you style your flowers, how you design. Because if you style it like a funeral flower, it's going to look like a funeral flower. But if you know how to manipulate the design and you have an eye for it and you kind of adjust, play with it. You don't even have to have an eye. Play with it a little and you'll find what works for you. I'm hoping this turns out exactly how I want it to go. Because I don't have the original flowers that I wanted or the amount that I wanted, we're going to have to try to change some things last minute. Okay. Had this been for an official client on their wedding day, things would be a little different. Sometimes we have to disclose information so that the client is aware, but sometimes you're able to adjust and pivot where the client, there's nothing that they lost, so there's nothing to have to disclose, if that makes sense. So we're going to get these flowers in fresh water. We'll open these up. I am going to need more buckets than what I have, but you know, this is just for the purpose of this video. So today's Friday. The execution of this design is on Sunday, so I am not wasting any time with opening these flowers up completely and getting them in the water so that they can drain. I'm going to pre-treat them. I want to pre-treat these as always because I just feel like even though you can do without it, it's better. You have a better opportunity doing it versus not doing it. So we're going to do that. And I'll be right back with you guys. I'm going to treat these and we're going to dip them in some water and get the ball rolling, okay? Again, the stock smells so good. I don't even know if people notice how perfumed stock is. Like they think it's only on garden roses, but stock is so perfumed. It smells so good. And just remember we're starting with clean shears. Mine just a little rusty. We don't want any bacteria carrying over from previous flower designs or previous stems of flowers. So we're starting with clean shears, and I'm just going to give these another wash real quick just to make sure. But always start with the clean pair of shears. Got it? Okay. And guys, always keep in mind that bacteria can form on anything. Okay? So always keep that in mind. You don't want to add to the bacteria that already exists. Like, of course, they get cleaned from the farm before they're packaged, but you have to think about the bacteria travels, boxes, pesticides, all that good stuff. So you don't want to travel that bacteria to travel over into your designs. Okay, I'm going to sit these in water. And we're just going to continue the cycle with the stock. And then we're going to move over, that's a leaf. Then we're going to move on to our carnations. Okay? That's how this goes, guys. So I'm going to process all the stock and I'll come back and holler at you guys about the next flower. Okay? Get this done real quick. And real quick before I dip the next one, as you can see, when they come packaged, they're very tightly wrapped together. With stock, baby's breath, all of those things, I always separate them before they go in the bucket so that they can bloom and open up a little bit better. So we're just going to open it up. With stock, I don't shake them. But you want to separate stems so that when you put it in the water, you won't have to move them around once they touch the water. The leaves fall and all of that good stuff. So that's just a quick little tip, a little free game. Separate it. See how these pieces are falling apart from transit? Separate it so the blooms can say, hey, we're here, we're supposed to open. Okay,